Steve Gamache here. Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Masakage Koishi Petty 120mm knife. So these have a hard core steel of Awagami blue paper, super reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi, with a soft stainless cladding on either side of that hard core steel. The heat treat they take pretty high on these, anywhere between 63 to 65 Rockwell. So these are very hard steel on the cutting edge and nice high edge retention on that cutting edge steel. Again, they've got a stainless cladding, and this cladding has a kudauchi or blacksmith finish on it. It's also got hammering or tsushime finish to it, so it's very interesting. These are aggressive looking knives. Focus on the camera here. So they're very interesting looking knives. They've got a serious aggressive look to them, like they mean some business, and they do. And very well crafted. This is an excellent line of knives. It's been out for a number of years now, and they're awesome. This particular one is 67 grams or 2.4 ounces, but these are going to vary just a little bit from sample to sample. Edge length is 125 millimeters or 4.9 inches on the edge. The overall length is about 253 or right about 10 inches. And thickness wise at the spine, it's about 2.8 coming out of the handle above the back of the heel. And then I measured about 2.1 halfway down the blade. And not a lot of taper on the thickness until you get to the grind. You can see the grind's pretty generous at the tip, and then they get pretty thin. On camera, there we go. They get pretty thin right at the edge, right at the tip. And you don't have a lot of height to work with on the grind on these, but they get pretty thin at the edge as well. You've got a pretty defined shoulder there that hits from the blade flats down to the edge. Blade height on these, not very tall. It's about 31 millimeters. And handles are very well done. Octagonal cherry wood with a black packawood ferrule. Really cool. Cherry wood is just some neat stuff. It's got a nice warm feel to it and look. These have a nice tight install on the tang, and where it's sealed up pretty nicely. Good fit and finish on the handle. About 65 millimeters or a little over 2.5 inches is what I got on the circumference where the two materials are, which is appropriate to this size of knife. Obviously the balance point is back almost about where the handle meets the tang there, coming out of the tang, because it's a small blade. You do have a good curve, kind of their signature curved choil into the neck for a pinch grip. And you can stick your finger in there and still get a nice pinch grip on these. These are shorter blades, so you can, it's not really a paring knife, but you could choke up on it, if you wanted to, and get way up near the tip if you want to do some work, some paring type work with that, or, some different techniques holding it. Some people put their pinkies there and they get way up on it. Just kind of depends on how you want to use it, or you can go more traditional here, or you can do this. There's just a lot of stuff you can do with this knife. They are fairly stiff, as you might guess, and very nice fit and finish. These have very, very good edges on them, as is typical for their knives, so I'd give this a 7 out of 10. It's very sharp and nicely polished. The grinds are very well executed on these. Let's take a close-up look here. Let's get our beauty shot. So on the left side of the blade, you've got hand-chiseled kanji. It kind of pops, so they've chiseled it, or engraved it after the kudauchi, so it makes it pop. And that's the left side of the blade. The right side of the blade, as you'd be holding it, looks like this. Every knife's going to be a little different, a little unique. There's your core steel coming out from the edge. As you get a patina on these, they'll really start to pop between the stainless cladding and the edge, and it'll be a really neat look. You've got polished spine. It's polished as well, although they've got the KU finish on it. There we go. So they've got a rounded, polished choil as well. So very, very comfortable. Nice fit and finish on these. Here is our cutting board view. So if you want to kind of look at it like a little mini gyuto, you can, although it's not as tall as some of those styles are in this size. But there's your edge profile if you want to do a little board work with it. But just an interesting small knife that can do a variety of tasks well. And awesome steel, cool look, neat handle. So this is the Masakage Koishi Petty 120mm knife.